I hope everybody can see the screen that I've shared. And because it's a webinar, you will not be able to speak, but what you can do is any queries or questions that you might have, you please put them in the chat. And at the end, there'll be Q&A, and we'll take all those questions that you have shared, and we'll discuss them towards the end of this webinar. So before we start, just a very quick intro about TEKenable and Continia. So obviously, TEKenable is an Irish company, been in the business for over 20 years. We are the low-code experts in Power Platform, Dynamics 365 ERP, and Salesforce, headquartered in Dublin, and as of now, we have over 180 employees. We're also ISO certified, and we are Microsoft managed and a gold partner as well. We're also a Continia partner. So Continia has been in business for over 30 years. They have over 20,000 licenses or users worldwide that use their product. And the Continia Document Capture that we're going to be looking today helps automate your AP processes from start to finish. And the best thing about this solution is that it is built in and on the Business Central platform. So as far as users are concerned, for them, it's just Business Central that they're looking at. And we're obviously headquartered in Dublin, but we're also located other places worldwide. And just a selection of our overall customer, not necessarily Business Central customers, and it's just a very small subset of our Business Central customers that we have currently. And with that, we'll just start the Continia webinar, and I'll now ask Martin to please share his screen and start. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, maybe Vishal, last thing, can you see my screen and see the Business Central in front of you and hear me?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see the screen. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. So welcome, everybody, on the webinar on document capture today. In the next 25 minutes, I'm going to show you a good sneak preview of what document capture can do for your company. It is our solution for automating the automation of the incoming invoices. And we basically scan, register, and archive your invoice and credit notes for you. Like Vishal said, please, if you got questions, ask them in the chat, and Vishal will read them to me at the end of the presentation. I'll be able to answer them. If I cannot answer them, I'll make sure you get an email today or tomorrow with the answer. For now, I'm going to start, and I hope you like it. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the demo. So document capture will be fully integrated into your Business Central. However, if you're on an older version of NAV or Business Central on premise, you will also be able to use our software. As the finance team, you'll be able to select a rule center where you'll be able to see a couple of things. On the left-hand side, you'll see how many invoices came in, and they can come in two different ways. One, you receive invoices via the post, you put them on the scanner, you press the button, and they'll be sent to Business Central. We do not see that a lot anymore, but it still happens, of course. But the most common way is via email. You as a company maybe already have an email address like invoices@yourcompanyname.ie. You ask your vendors to send the invoices to that email address. Document Capture monitors it and downloads them straight into Business Central for you. And you will see them coming over here on the left-hand side. Next to that, we will see purchase approval. With Document Capture, we can, of course, approve your invoices. And in the rule center and approver can see how many documents he or she has to approve. And the same goes for credit notes here on the right-hand side. Recently, we've added a new module called Purchase Contracts. This allows companies to match invoices to purchase contracts that you create. For example, for your utilities or the rent of your building. So you make sure that your vendors do not overcharge you. What I did while we're listening to Vishal's introduction, I emailed some invoices to my demo email address. They get downloaded automatically into Business Central. Then they will be put through the OCR machine. OCR stands for optical character recognition, and basically reads the information on the PDF files and makes sure that we can do something that's on the text. And then they go into the ready to register box. And what the page that I'm now opening is basically the screen where the accounts payable team from now on will process the invoices. So what do we see in front of us? We'll see the original invoice on the right-hand side, and I can zoom in and zoom out and scroll through it if I want to. On the top left, we see your to-do list. In the middle, a template. and down below comments. So how does our software work? We're going to create a template per vendor, and on the template, you're going to tell the system, how do you want this invoice to be processed? We can basically process any type of invoice that you might receive. Think of a simple cost invoice. We can match invoices to your purchase orders. We can capture multiple lines of invoices, freight charges, discounts, whatever they send to you, we can handle it. And the nice thing is you have to only show the system once how to do it, and the next batch will go in automatically and saving you a lot of time. In my demo today, I'm going to give you 3 examples. I'll start off very simple with a cost invoice, and then I'll move over to some more difficult ones. Before I'm going to do that, on the top left, you can see the document capture recognize your vendors. How did it do that? When they got imported via the email, they get put through the OCR. The OCR software scans the PDF file. It found the VAT number, and then it found a match on the vendor card of First Up Consultants. If there's no vendor name, then the system will look, if there's no VAT number, the system will look for vendor name, address, postal code, contact person, all to identify the correct vendor for you. The nice thing is that we're fully integrated into your Business Central. So let's say document capture could not see it the first time. The nice thing is that you can open up the vendor list from within here without moving to another solution. And you can select it straight from here or create a new one. In this case, it was okay. So I press the button recognize fields. When I do that, the system will start thinking for a couple of seconds, and then we'll see some things happening. On the right-hand side, orange and blue bars appearing. In the middle, a template with data, and down below, comments. So let me start off here in the middle. In the left column field, this is where the master template, and you get this master template from document capture, and it contains the most common fields that can be found on an invoice, like invoice number, invoice date, order number, amounts. However, you as a customer has the possibility to make change to this and add and remove fields yourselves. And I really mean yourself. You can do that without the help of TEKenable, a developer, or Continia. So you're really self-sufficient after the training. In the second column, value, we try to fill in as much as we can, of course. We have AI incorporated into this, machine learning, however you want to call it. We'll try to do it as much as possible. However, the first time you check it, and then maybe add something or remove something, and then it will not make that mistake again the second time, basically. So if I select, for example, the invoice number, you see it gets highlighted on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see an orange bar and a blue bar. The orange bar is like the header the system is looking for, and the blue bar is the value that the system is looking for. And that's how it dynamically goes through your invoice to find all of the information. And it's really nice. And this is a perfect demo invoice. But if it's like small letters, you'll immediately see by the big blue box where it found something. It found the invoice date. It found the due date, and it validates the due date with your payment terms. If they do not match, you get a warning message like the one here on the bottom left. You can also choose for document capture to, of course, honor your payment terms because your Business Central is leading. We have a contact person, no order number in my first example. The currency code is left blank because it's a local currency within Business Central. Should you receive an invoice in a foreign currency, then it will be shown over here. We got all the amounts, and it validates all the amounts, and we can capture multiple VAT amounts on one invoice, like low and high VAT, no VAT, reverse VAT, doesn't matter, we can process it all. The system asks for a general ledger account number. So what I can do here, I can say I want to code this invoice to a general ledger account number, but you can also code it to an item number, a resource, a fixed asset, a charge item, purchase contract, whatever you need. And now I select general ledger account, and again, we will open up your general ledger account like you're used to it. And then you can scroll through it, and then you can select the one that you would like to use for this particular invoice. And the system will ask me, do you want to set this up as a default for this vendor? I'll ask that in a second. If the Business Central doesn't crash, no, it doesn't. Say, do you want to put this general ledger account as a default? I'll press yes, so I do not have to do it again the next time. Next time, if I press no, next time I would get the invoice, I only have to fill in the general ledger account number. The posting description, I can type something in manually, combine fields from the template, PDF file. You are in control. In my demo, I want to show you how easy it is to capture something. So I select the posting description. With my left-hand mouse button, I'll drag an orange box. And with my right-hand mouse button, I will select the value that I want to capture. And now document capture knows how the posting description for this particular vendor needs to be captured. It is that simple. Left, right, and you're done. The last field already, invoice, credit memo, or prepayment. Document Capture automatically recognizes what it is of the three, and double invoices will be blocked here, so they will not go into your system. And yeah, congratulations, now you've created your first template. I can do this in 30 seconds. After a couple of days of training from Vishal and the team, you will also be able to do this. It is really not that difficult. I'm going to register this document now, and then it becomes a registered invoice within Business Central. The screen that's about to open will look familiar to a lot of you, because this is the standard Business Central invoices screen, as you can see over here. But what we have done, we've also added the PDF file from now on, so you always get to see it on the right-hand side, and all of the details have been filled in. I'll send it for approval, and I will later explain the different approval flows to you. So I got another one from First Up Consultants. If I press recognize fields, now it will grab everything that we just did. You can see that it found the invoice number, the dates, all of the amounts. It remembered the general ledger account number and the posting description. And now I can register it immediately, and it will it will register the document, and I can even send it for approval automatically. And basically, by showing you this shows you that, with every template that you make, your workload will get less and less. And I'll send this one for approval. There we go. So some of you might also work with purchase order matching. Document Capture is very good at this. We can match invoices to your orders in your system in 3 different ways. One, we can match on a total amount level. Document Capture will look, the order is worth £1,000, the invoice is worth £1,000, or euros in Ireland, that doesn't matter. And then it matches, and then it will go through. The only downside of this way of matching is that you do not know if you ordered a Lenovo laptop or a Dell laptop. It will just purely look at the amount. That's why we've invented method number 2, where we can do a line level match. So if you look at an example on the screen, we can check, did you receive 20 lamps for £25, 5 whiteboards for £700, and 20 desks for £500. And this will make your match very accurate. We can, besides being accurate, we can also do some more things. We can, for example, now do partial matching. We can match multiple orders on one invoice if you would like to. We can set up tolerances per supplier. We can do a lot with this line level matching. The third way of matching is manual. Why do you want to do this? Well, preferably not, of course, but in real life, let's say a vendor forgets to put up the order number, then Document Capture is not going to guess for you. And then you need to give it a hand. I'm going to show you. I'm going to press recognize fields, and because of time, I know all of these fields are okay, including the order number. So normally this would have matched automatically, but I've switched it off because I want to show you. If I click on the button Match Lines, it will open up our matching screen in a second. Over here. And what do we see? We get to see the original invoice again on the right hand side, like this. At the top, our purchase receipt lines and the order lines from this particular vendor. I just want to show you the order that is on this invoice. And this left information over here is what is in your Business Central. And what I can do now, if I press Perform Match, it will match those lines on the left to the lines on the invoice. And as you can see, it's a perfect match. There's 0 difference. Well, you can also see it here at the top, and all the lines have been made bold. Well, we understand in real life that does not always happen, of course. So then the line will not be made bold, and the difference will be shown in this column over here, so that the Accounts Payable team can spot it immediately. If I go one screen back, the system will also tell the Accounts Payable team what it did. It will now say it's fully matched, which is great, but it can also say it's partially matched. Multiple orders are matched. It can really tell you a lot. Also, for example, when it's not matched because your tolerance level was exceeded. The finance team also has the possibility to assign an invoice to a user within your Business Central, for example, somebody in the purchase ordering team. So let's say there was a mismatch, then they can assign it to a user, and then with a message saying, hey, this mismatched because we're missing some items, and they can take action. For now, I'll just register it. And then again, it becomes a registered purchase invoice within Business Central, and then I will send it for approval. The last type of invoice that I want to show you today is an invoice with multiple lines. Document Capture is very good at capturing lines, and it doesn't matter if there are 3, like in this example, 50 or 100. It will just continue on until it doesn't find them anymore. Let me show you how. I'm going to press Recognize Fields. And actually, this is a good example that we need to check the invoice. As you can see over here, it captured the wrong invoice number. It did that by mistake. So I'm going to correct it. Super simple. Left-hand mouse button, right-hand mouse button. And now it will not make that mistake again. That's how easy it is. The rest of this information is okay. So let me show you how to capture these lines. I do that by going into the document card. In the document card, which you're about to open, we got several lines. Over here, we can see that with columns like number, description, quantity, unit cost. Again, you can adjust this to your liking. I'm going to stand in item number, and then with my left-hand mouse button, I'll drag a box. You'll find that one over here. The description over here. We got a quantity. We have a unit cost. We do not have a discount percentage or discount amount in this particular example, but we do have a line amount which can be found over here. If I now press Recognize Fields and watch this, without me having to type anything in, it captures all the lines that it can find. And really, we do this with vendors that have hundreds of lines over 50, 60 pages. It will capture them all. And now what you can do, if you can say, I want to code the London share to General Ledger account A, for example, and I want to code the Paris share to another one. And Document Capture will be able to remember this for you. So the next time you order one of these goods, it can fill in the translation for you. So that will save you time again in the future. I'll also translate to an item number, just for demo's sake. And now if I register it, instead of getting an invoice with 1 line, I get an invoice with 3 lines, perfectly coded to the way that I just did, as you can see. Now, this is in a nutshell of how the template making works. We can do a lot more complicated things. We can automate things. We can work with dimensions, your jobs, your projects, doesn't matter. But hopefully this gives you an indication how simple it is to set up. And the nice thing also is that if you got multiple companies in your database, then Document Capture can copy the templates automatically to the other companies within your group. And also you can do this in your test environment, or sandbox as Microsoft calls it, and then you can move everything from test to live. So once you do have a go live on Business Central, you do not have to start creating all of those templates again. Approval. We can do approval in 2 different places. One, we can use our web approval portal, which allows users to approve on their mobile phone, on their iPad, basically anywhere in the world as long as they have an internet connection. And one of the nicest things of that is that you can log in with what is called a team member license from Microsoft, which is like a cheap variant of the full user license. So then people who normally do not approve digitally can now do that in an affordable way. We can also, of course, approve within Business Central itself. It has all the same functionalities as the web approval portal, only you would need a full user to log into there. So I'm going to show you the web approval portal. And while this is loading, well, I probably cannot talk that fast. I will explain the different approval flows to you. We can set up an approval flow based on an approver and a limit. First, an invoice will go to me, and if it exceeds my limit, then it will go to Vishal. If it exceeds Vishal's limit, then it will go to Jenny afterwards. So you can build in like these pyramids. We can also do approval based on vendor. Vendor number 1 will be done by Vishal and Jenny together, and vendor number 2 will be done by myself. And we can also approve based on dimensions. So the approval flows are quite flexible on how to set them up. The approvers will get a notification via email that they have something to approve, and you can schedule that email to come once a day, once every 2 days, whatever works within your organization. They click on the link, and then it will open up the web approval like you're seeing right now. And here the approver can look up, what do I have to approve today? These are these 4 invoices. At the top in the archive, they can look at what did I approve last week. If there's multiple companies, you can switch between them over here. And if somebody's going on a well-deserved holiday, you can set up your out of office. And of course, the finance team can also activate this for their colleagues. If I'm opening up an invoice, what I'm about to do, you get to see the original invoice on the right-hand side, and you can zoom in and zoom out and scroll through it. Next to that, we can add comments. And it's very important to know that the whole approval flow, including the comments, will be logged so that you, but also the accountants later on, can have a look at it. We can see details of the invoice, the approvers, and the lines, and you can even give people permissions to make changes to the lines. For now, I'll just press approve in a second, but we can also reject it. Then we need to fill in a comment, why do we reject it? Otherwise, yeah, the accounts payable team doesn't know what's going on. We can forward it in multiple ways, and we have the ability to put it on hold if there's a query. And the nice thing is that the accounts payable team has a full overview within Business Central of where all the invoices are, and if something has been put on hold with the reason why. If I press approve, it automatically goes to the next one to speed things up. So it's very easy for the approver to go through this. And if you open this on your mobile phone, it will look like an app. Now, this is the approval in the web portal. Within Business Central itself, it has the same functionality, only it will look like Business Central. So let me show you in a second. So if I click on this, we'll get to see the original invoice on the right-hand side, of course, like this. We can see who needs to approve it. We can see if there was comments made and all the lines over here. And then at the top, the user can approve it, reject it with the reason, forward in multiple ways, put on hold if there's a query, or add comments. And we can also set up our out of office here in the background. If you approve it, it will automatically go to the next file here as well to speed things up. And once the final approval has been done, the list will be empty for the approver and they can continue with their normal tasks of the day. The invoices are now at their final stage, the release bin. Released invoices can be posted, and we can do that one by one in a batch, or you can automate it. Once the invoice has been posted, what I'm about to do, our software stops. Then it will probably go to your banking module or the process that you have set up with TEKenable. Well, I assume it's a banking module. And once the due date is there, you probably pay your vendors. I'm going to press OK now. This will probably look familiar to the most of you. And now it just posts the invoices like normal. So in 15 minutes time, we went through the complete process from beginning to end. A quick recap. Let's say you start using Document Capture. We download the invoices automatically into your Business Central. Then the system will put a template on top of it that you created and captures all of the data. If everything is okay, it can be forwarded to the approvers immediately based on a flow that you designed, and the approver will be notified via email. The approvers will approve fast. Then it will come back here in the release bin where the finance team can have a final look, and then it can be posted manually or automatically. And yeah, this should really speed up your process of the incoming invoices. Now, the final 2 minutes of my presentation, and then I'm done, but it's not important. How do you find documents back? We got several ways. One of them is called document search. Basically, every invoice that is scanned with Document Capture is fully text searchable. Maybe an example, you bought a chair, the London design somewhere last year, but you do not know the name of the vendor. You can type in London chair, and then it will find every invoice with the word London chair on it. And then the accounts payable team can click on show document card, and it will show you the invoice with the template that you used that day. We can also press show file, and then it will really open up the PDF file like you're used to. And you can even show the incoming email. That means we can store the email where the invoice came in with, and then you can see that one as well. So this is very easy if you do not completely know everything about an invoice. For the rest, you can basically find the invoice throughout Business Central. You can find it on the vendor card, on the general ledger account, on the VAT entry, in the posted documents. Everywhere where the document touches something within Business Central, you will be able to see it. I'm almost out of breath because this was a lot of talking in 20 minutes. A normal presentation on this product takes about an hour, and it goes much slower and we'll go into more detail, but hopefully this gets your curiosity going and maybe you want to see more of it. For you, we've been selling this product since 2013, and since then, like Vishal said, more than 20,000 customers are using this worldwide, and the number is still growing a lot. And that is mostly because we're fully integrated into Business Central and because we can do more than the competitors. Every 6 months, we create a new version for this software, so that you're always up to date on the latest and greatest. For now, I want to end this presentation, but I do want to tell you, if you want to see more about this product, or maybe have a one-on-one demo with your team, please contact your representative within TEKenable, and we'll get that sorted for you, free of charge, no strings attached, and we'd love to show you our solutions. For now, I would like to thank you all for coming. Vishal, are there any questions that the team made?
So there's only one question that I can see, that can we have the copy of the recording made available to them so that they could share it with the wider team within their organization? Yes.
Of course. And we also have recordings of this on YouTube, where it goes a bit slower, and we can also share that. So that will come probably to you today or tomorrow. We will forward the recording. Absolutely.
And if there's any other query, you can please type in on the chat, and we can take any queries. So we still have a minute or two. I don't think any more queries there. So thanks, Martin. Sorry.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And any follow-on questions, please get in touch with us, and we can. So even after the fact, if you have any questions, please get in touch, and we'll make sure that those queries are answered for you. And thank you for joining today.